You're not gonna do that. No, 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 no. You're not gonna do that. All right. Well, guys, I really don't want to do this, but we're gonna go over some news topics. Now, there's really no general direction as to where these news topics are gonna, cover, take place, whatever. We're just going to cover some news topics, and we're gonna see where this goes. So, let's get at it. Let's go. Let's do coronavirus news. Wait, no. As a matter of fact, let's do Michigan. Let's see what's going on in Michigan right now. 460 new cases? Whoa. I'm not one of those contributors. I can tell you that much. I like the fact that they're really not covering as much as... Oh, here it is. Yeah, 543. Good job, Michigan. Good job indeed. We're getting there. We're getting close to being about as fucking stupid as Arizona and Florida? Yeah, those guys. Those guys. Oh my god. Let's see. Let's go to California. There you have it. There you have it. Guy dies. A man who posted regret for attending a party died a day later of coronavirus. I mean, I hope that is enough evidence right there to get you ignorant people to start wearing your masks. We once had this lady come up to us at my job site. I'm not going to specify where, but in order to come in the building, you had to have a mask on. And we approached her and we're like, ma'am, could you please put your mask on? It's required to be inside the building. And she goes, well, my mask, it doesn't match what I'm wearing. I don't give a fuck. Coronavirus doesn't match anything anybody's wearing at all. At all. I really wanted to say that to her. Complete idiot. Yeah, so protesting COVID. What the fuck? It clearly doesn't make any sense. Yeah, sure, okay. George Floyd protests? Now those things didn't make any fucking sense at all. But now we got these people here in California. Let's go to California. Coronavirus California Karen. No. No. There's no Karen yet. Coronavirus Karen probably regrets not wearing a face mask. No, let's...
This 4th of July, celebrate America with the taste of summer freedom.
Many of us have wondered about a lot of these people protesting coronavirus, taking their masks off, making big scenes about it. and being willfully ignorant. Well, now it turns out that there are people following some of those cases. And one of the sort of well-known cases is of coronavirus Karen, whose name is actually Genevieve Peters. And Genevieve Peters spent 20 minutes harassing a Trader Joe's employee who asked her simply to wear the mask that she showed up at the door in. Let's refresh you, and here's Genevieve.
The girl showed up with a mask on, enters the store and then takes it off and is told to put it back on and turns into a Karen.
Well, I'm uncomfortable wearing a mask.
My lady, I don't know, maybe about 60.
So they're literally calling the police on me because I am not putting this mask on.
Why aren't you wearing the mask?
It's unhealthy for me. I don't want to breathe.
Hold on, let's rewind that. Let's listen to what this dumb bitch has to say.
Because I am not putting this mask
He
on.
asks,
Why aren't you wearing the mask?
and she says,
It's unhealthy for me.
It's unhealthy for you? Okay. Go into a building where carpenters are at work sawing wood. You know. All the wood dust flying around. Without a mask. Go on in there. And then tell me if it isn't healthy for you to wear a fucking mask. You have people like this 60-year-old lady displayed in this segment. She's obviously a little overboard. I don't know if it was a prescription med she did a little too much of. It made her feel a little rambunctious to wanna rattle her saber. Or maybe she thought she was going to become famous like all those other idiots out there. Like the ones that attended the looting and whatnot and the riots and shit. Or just anybody in general that tries to make an outlash because they don't want to do what they're being told to do. There are rules, and there are very, very good reasons behind those rules. Nobody's going to tell you that you have to wear the face mask 24/7. But hell, I would rather wear a face mask outside my house going into an area where there are other people around than to just sit there and make an argument as to why I gotta be the one to put it on. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Everybody else is wearing their mask. Wear your mask. That's all you gotta fucking do. Just put it on. Oh, and then you got the people that wear the masks and they hang down here. They're like, yeah. You might as well just take the mask off and go lick a toilet seat.
I don't want to breathe my own CO2.
I don't want to breathe my own CO2.
There's many researchers.
There's, yeah, I'm sure, but nobody's really listening to those researchers that are doing those dumbass tests about why it's bad to wear a mask. You know what? Suits me. We need people, a lot less people like that in the world. Go ahead. Don't wear a mask. Don't wear a mask at all. Be the person that is to set the example for the next Karen that decides to say, I don't want to breathe my own CO2. You're sitting in a house, Karen. You're breathing your own CO2 right there. When you're in your car, Karen, you're breathing your own CO2 right there. You know what the fuck I just thought of? The trees. They don't want to fucking breathe your Karen CO2. Why would they want to breathe your Karen CO2? The trees don't like you, Karen, okay? They don't like your CO2 either. Now, tree lives matter. How about let's hashtag that? Tree lives, they matter. Moving on.
There's men. No, I'm not going to do that. There's many researchers. No,
I like how this guy is being very calm, you know, very mannered. He's respecting her. He's not like, okay, well then you need to get the fuck out. If you don't want to wear a mask, get the fuck out of the store. No, he's not like that. Just like that one Karen that lit up on that barista at a Starbucks. Yeah, he got an $80,000 tip. And good on you for it, man. You should just rub it all in her fucking face, too. Because that bitch wants to try and sue Twitter. Or no, not Twitter. No, not Twitter. GoFundMe for defamation and slander. Saying she deserves some of that money. What you deserve is however many people had seen that video is however many slaps you need to the back of your head. Really. Not like abusive slaps. No, like the slap you would give to your child for doing something stupid. Just the, what the hell are you thinking, Bendejo? You call yourself a Bendejo. Oh, moving on.
I'm not, because you know what? Because they're bogus rules.
Bogus rules made to save lives. Those bogus rules have been saving lives. I don't know about this bitch, but she's spending way too much time on Twitter. She's listening to all those other people out there that are like, well, you can't make a person wear a mask. You just can't, okay? All you people, the devil's workers, and you're all going to hell. Where's that? Where is that fucking video? Coronavirus. Where is that? California speaks out. Or wait, no, yeah. California residents speak out to coronavirus. Where is it? I would really love to. Karen's shout at California. What is it? About coronavirus. Yeah, Florida. Here it is.
My name is Butch, and I'm an American patriot.
Okay, so this guy's an American patriot. This guy right here has served our country. Do not forget that. But his argument is very invalid. And let's go on to listen to him.
See that flag? I would die for that flag. The Constitution that you are supposed to uphold?
Yeah, so I'm sure any American that roots for the same team would do the same thing. Continue.
I would die for that.
I would die for that too. I would. Make America great again. So this is the residents of Palm Beach. Now already, these are some uptight, pretentious assholes. As you can see, they got a lot of money. They don't care about the lower class. And these people, their mentality is really focused on the belief that what they say matters. I mean, they got the money, so let's listen to them. But let's not forget, too, before I even begin, Florida and California are some of the leading states that have the highest count of COVID cases. Have their say ahead of a vote.
It is appalling that each and every one of you sitting up there as human beings, part of the human race, the only...
We're all part of the human race. She's a part of the human race, but she is not subjecting herself to the ridicule. She is of a different race. She is probably of the other 50 genders that has been established here in America. But her opinion matters. So we're going to let her speak out. But I really want to open this up for you guys' pleasure. There you go.
only race that we have would suggest to muffle people.
We're not suggesting muffling anything. We're just suggesting that you take upon the responsibility for yourself, for your safety, and for everybody else's safety to wear a fucking mask. That's it. Wear the mask. Don't muffle yourself. We're not talking about putting a cork in it like you would a wine bottle. That's muffling. Or shoving a sock in this girl's face. I mean mouth, not face. Her face looks like a Karen. Moving on.
To put masks on our face.
Now, I really, at this point, I would want a mask put around that. That shit's hideous.
Keep us from breathing oxygen, to get us to become sickly.
So, going back to that girl. Look at her shirt. Trump. She's not a Trump supporter.
Breathing oxygen, to get us to become sickly.
She sounds like Hillary Clinton, to be quite honest.
You preach pseudoscience and say.
Now, this girl had to fucking take notes. She was probably sitting on the toilet, and then she got that, you know, that social justice mentality in her, like, okay, that didn't quite do it. She types up this autobiography of what really dissatisfies her about what's going on in the world right now with the coronavirus.
Safety. Does anyone care about preserving the liberty of the people who pay your salaries?
Why do we got to angle towards salaries to make this argument justifiable? We're not talking about salaries. We're talking about coronavirus. Well, go on.
Some of you are up there smirking and smiling at public comments to which you do not agree. I have the photos, and they're shameful.
She has the photos, and they're shameful. Here, looking back on Twitter, Snapchat, mainly Snapchat, almost everybody that has a Snapchat is trying to be like somebody. You got all these people doing these memes. They're refreshing or rehashing or revamping something that somebody had already done. Do you think they feel shameful at all? So if those people don't feel shame, then why should the people that help run our state feel shame for simply asking you to be a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man, whichever one it is, put your big boy panties on, and just be somewhat responsible? She looks like a person that either works in the medical field or she's a therapist of some sort. She needs fucking therapy for herself. You know, that's what I've always thought. How do therapists get therapy? Because they're listening to all the other bullshit that everybody else has to say. I mean, we're doing it right here. But at some point in time, those therapists have got to kick back and think, man, do I really give a fuck? Or am I just filling their head with something that appeals to them in a way that makes sense, that'll get them to shut the fuck up? Moving on.
To which you do not
Now the next girl looks like somebody had pushed her in on a wheelchair.
agree.
And I don't know if the uniform is real or not.
I have the photos,
We'll see.
and they're shameful.
They want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door.
God's breathing system. God's breathing system. Lady, you were on a whole nother drug.
You're all turning your backs on it.
You know God's breathing system? It's called a pair of lungs. Woo! Yeah, throw your breathing system out.
Can you prove that it's good for people to breathe carbon dioxide over and over and over again?
Has it killed you yet? Obviously not, because she's still standing here.
What about PTSD from child abuse situations? I was left in a hot car. You want to cover my face? I'm going to
I don't know if all these people don't understand, but you don't need to wear a mask when you leave your house or get in your car or drive around or walk around. If you come across somebody, just keep your 6-foot distance. You don't need to wear the mask. That's just one individual. But if you're coming across like 5 or 6 other individuals in a closed environment, that's when we ask you to wear your fucking mask. We're not asking you to sit in your car, roll up the fucking windows. I mean, this lady obviously didn't think thoroughly enough about her point. She just kind of wrote it down. And look at her. She looks all pampered and righteous. Like, oh, yep, I hit the nail on the head with this one. I'm going to tell them how it is, and I'm going to tell them straight. You didn't think about it thoroughly. Windows on cars, they either got a manual rolling arm or they got an automated rolling button. You just press it and it rolls the window down. Why are you going to sit in your fucking car on a very hot day? That's what I think happened with humanity. Is when social media started getting big and whatnot, common sense died. People who would think for themselves. You know, you got 5 seconds to sit there. I believe it's like a 5-second window. It just takes 5 seconds to think before you actually act. Moving on.
hyperventilate because I remember being stuck in that hot car. What about people?
Okay. You were stuck in a hot car, but it wasn't any one of those members that are up there listening to you rant about you in your childhood life and having a shitty parent that left you in the fucking car. And I don't know why they gave you a mask to wear back then when you were a kid, but I'm pretty sure they just wanted to get rid of your ass at that point in time. I mean, as bad as that sounds, it really sounds like her parents didn't want her anymore. That's just reality. I'm just pointing that out. That's just reality. I mean, that sucks, but it's reality. She was abused when she was a kid. I feel for her. I really do. But you know what? In a situation like this, when you're trying to use it as leverage to complain about something that it really has nothing relatable towards, why?
People like me, we don't matter because of the greater good, right?
No, you matter. It's just under the circumstances in which you're arguing about right now, I think your argument doesn't matter. Moving on.
Business. Now, I think you might agree with me that it would be ludicrous for me to allow someone into my shop to purchase a firearm who's wearing a mask.
Now, that's a good point. That is a very good point. But I don't think it's ludicrous to allow somebody to come into your gun shop unarmed, wearing a mask, and you can size them up using your own wits. You'd be able to tell whether or not they're there to either rob you or to get a gun for their safety. And I mean, chances are when they do walk up there, you have to ask them for their fucking ID. It's not like they're going to walk up there and be like, hey, yeah, can I buy a 45? I'm licensed. You don't need to do the background check. Just, yeah, here you go. If there's the money. All right, bye. No. ID. Then ask them to pull the mask down quickly so you can confirm it. Then they can put that bad boy back on. Be all safe again. Coronavirus. It's not like coronavirus needs somebody to pull the trigger, you know? Coronavirus doesn't need a trigger pulled just to affect somebody. All it needs is a retard. That's all it really fucking needs. is somebody who is dumb enough to listen to these people. In fact, they are one of the leading states for COVID cases. As you can tell why. God.
Whose face I cannot see.
Now right there. Whose face you cannot see. You ask them for their ID. Just like if I was to go buy alcohol from my local grocery store, I gotta give them my ID. And then I gotta pull my mask down and smile. And then put it back up to confirm with them. Why do they make it seem like it is asking so much of you to just provide some helpful effort on getting the situation resolved? Why? You whining ass bitches. Now, apparently this girl was super, super rancid. Worse than toxic. Like, I thought this was a Trump shirt at first. Excuse the red and the white. That does not say Make America Great Again. She's not a Make America Great Again. She's more along the lines of driving America into the dirt. Listen.
Will get together and do a citizen's arrest on every single human being that goes against the freedom of choice.
Okay, this is not the Ukraine, okay? We don't go around in the middle of the night with militiamen, self-appointed militiamen, and round up the dissidents of the police force and subject them to resigning. Forcibly subjecting them to resigning because they didn't... No, this is not Ukraine, okay? You're not going to do any citizens arrests. It's unlawful to do citizens arrests like that. Not unless you have a very, very good reason as to why. The person would have to threaten your fucking life with an object of some sort. Or have to have done harm on you for you to at least to try to make a... I mean, if you don't let your emotions get the best of you and you happen to not kill the person prior to, leading up to the citizen's arrest, I think you would be able to get away with a citizen's arrest by taking some damage, getting the guy down, tying him up, and then calling the police. Hopefully you're a good fucking Samaritan. And then getting them to come. I think that would be a very good citizen's arrest. But what this girl is going on about is...
Okay? You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people.
What? Wait. Masks are killing people? Oh no. Everybody, watch out. Oh, school shootings and... Oh my god, child trafficking and... Now we got masks killing people? Get the fuck out of here. I don't think there has been one reported case of a mask strangling somebody to death. I mean, that's about as bad as somebody saying they're getting bullied on a computer. Just turn the fucker off, okay? Or log out of whatever it is that you're getting bullied on. Whatever platform you're getting bullied on. Shut it down. You don't need to subject yourself to it. And in that girl's case, she doesn't need to subject herself to strangulation by mask. She can just subject herself to licking a toilet seat and doing the mask a favor. Going on.
Are not God, and since masks are harmful, where there is risk, there should be choice. You're removing our freedoms.
Wait, what? How did she start out?
Where there is risk, there should be choice. You're removing our freedoms and stomping on our...
No, where there is risk, there should be choice. Okay, so there is a choice. There is a high amount of risk. Now, I know that the 0.218 or 0.2817% chance of you getting infected is very, very, very minuscule. But I honestly, I don't think that you're quite going to catch it, wearing a mask inside your house. But if you're inside a building and it has, say, like 30 people and almost 85 to 90% of those people are wearing masks, the chance of you catching COVID drastically increases to around 17 to 18%. Now, I would rather it be that 0.2187 or 0.2817% chance, because it's just impossible to get infected with numbers so minuscule like that. No. You're not forced to wear a mask.
Our constitutional rights by these
Sound like she had balls in her mouth.
communist dictatorship orders or laws you want to mandate.
Now, I really don't like listening to people who have to sit there and write down something and then reread it off of their phone to said people. It's just somebody who lacks the capacity to remember things. Hey, they got too many mindsets on other things that they can't remember anything. They lack the ability to use their own fucking brain. Although many spoke against it, the measure was approved. Wow. Going on.
We know that mandatory masking works. We've seen it work in other communities. We know that it stops the spread of COVID. We are at a crisis point.
Nobody's mentioned death. I've lost a son to this disease. I lost a grandmother and a...
But to those other people that are sitting there crying because they're forced to wear a mask, they haven't lost anybody, so they don't know the weight of the problem at hand. You know, plenty of people that sat there and they're like, oh, fuck masks, man. I'm going to go to that goddamn COVID party and shit that my friends are throwing. And then 3 days later, they find out that they got COVID. And what? Well, blood from my nose and I can't stop losing weight uncontrollably? Yeah, you dumb fuck. That's what happens. And you wanted to be the cool bro, huh? You wanted to try to reach that social media famdom by not wearing a mask and doing something really ignorant? People are going to remember you for one day after you die. You're going to be posted on a grave. And people are going to move on. Every once in a year, you're going to be remembered. And people will move on. But you know what you're going to be remembered for? Stupidity. They're going to be like, oh, what's today? And you're going to be like, well, today's the day I got to go and I got to bring flowers to my brother's grave. Johansson. There's going to be a Johansson. And they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, how did he die? What did he die from? And either you're going to be really embarrassed on saying it or you're going to lie. And I hate to say it, but I feel like most of you guys are going to be jumping to that lying factor. They're going to be like, oh, it was part of that protest, you know, fucking police brutality. No. They're going to be like, well, remember COVID? Yeah, he was totally, you know, with wearing a mask and everything, but he just felt like going out to one of his buddies' parties was a great idea and all, and your friend that's sitting there that felt bad for you a second ago is going to be, dude, pwned. I can see it. I can fucking see it. It's the only, as morbid as it is only the very oldest and very youngest that are dying, which for both groups is tragic, but with a small fractional percent, economic issues will be solved. Yes, economic issues will be solved. And you know, speaking about economic issues, we have an issue with the population. And there are other population controls like those kids eating Tide Pods or trying to snort condoms down their fucking nasal cavities and pulling it out of their mouths. Those people. The cigarette companies cannot get to those kids. So you know what? They help them. They help them by making certain cleaning products that hold or harness very bad chemicals or hazardous chemicals, caustic chemicals. Yeah, they make them look appealing, like a piece of candy to a young one. And then you got these fucking kids that are doing all this stupid shit. So, yes. Yeah, we're trying to keep humans alive at all costs. But when you got people prior to this lady right here and what they said, ooh. They're not attempting to keep human lives up. And we have teachers not being paid, and we are paying those who birth 20 children due to being. And that's what's wrong with our humanitarian, our financial aid system. So we got people that are abusing it. They're thinking, oh, because they can bring 20 kids in the goddamn world, that they're just gonna do it, and they're gonna be the new next top hit show, like 20 kids and still going, or whatever the fucking Kate plus 8, whatever the fuck that show was. That was stupid. And you know what? I had a lot of retarded people watching that show, and a lot of retarded people that followed in her footsteps. And you want to know what? That person made a lot of fucking money off of people just lacking the self-awareness of something that isn't good for human nature. You breeding 20 people is not good for your body. It's not good for human nature either. There was one thing my dad told me. He said, don't be a glutton. Eat in moderation. Don't be a hoe, or don't leave the door open, to euphemize it. Wear a condom. After you've had 2 kids, wear a condom. Because eventually we're going to get to that point, just like the Chinese government, where our government's going to be like, you know what, fuck you guys. You can only birth 1 kid, and you can only have 1 animal for every household. That's what they're doing in China. You know how high the infant mortality rate in China is? You gotta look that up.
Grandfather to this disease, and I have 3 people on respirators right now. It's real.
Thank you. Fuck yeah, it's real. The uncle to the owner of the building at which I work at, he was a little hefty. He caught COVID, and so did his wife. His wife barely made it. When we seen him, he was nearly bone. Nearly just... It was amazing to see how much weight you could lose in a matter of 14 days. Just from COVID. And if you're some obese person out there looking to drop a few 100 pounds and maintain a good physique, I'd say you guys out there on Weight Watchers, this could be your anonymous tip.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments today.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But we're subject to pay for other people's needs and wants. And we got a system that has so many flaws in it. So many potholes and loops. That's easy for immigrants and shit. Not striking at immigrants, but I'm just saying, in general, it's either them or it's the lazy motherfuckers that don't want to get off their ass and do something constructive with their time. Get a job. That are abusing the system. Yeah. I don't feel like I should be paying for their fucking taxes either. Like, I would love if I could track exactly where my taxes would go. If I was notified as to exactly where every single dollar was deducted and sent to, knowing that my money is going towards a good cause. Like fixing our fucking roads. I got a Dodge Charger as a car. Shocks aren't cheap. Okay? And replacing shocks for a mechanic, if I were to go to Bell Tire, they would charge me $2,100 to replace all my shocks. Me doing it myself would require me to set my car aside, mode of transportation, and to stop all things for almost a full day to 2 days and get it done, which is not hard at all. At all. So, there. We had it. That was Florida residents, silver spoons in their mouths, talking and complaining about why they have to wear a mask and how it's affecting their lifestyle, how they're breathing in too much CO2. Oh my God, CO2 diet. Taking in too much CO2. It's going to affect my goddamn farm. Well, I hope you enjoyed. It was me ranting. There's going to be a lot of new things on this channel. And I could care less whether I appeal to your opinion or not. I'm here to just talk and discuss. I'm not here to side with anything, really. I help point out obvious, stupid shit. And I enjoy it. So, how about you go ahead and leave that like if you did like it. If you didn't like it, go ahead and fuck off. This is your boy, Average American Gamer Frank, signing out with another.